You don't have to do those crazy stuff, that Ronnie did. Ronnie was a different kind of specimen, you understand? I was watching him as well when I was young. I was also trying to be like Ronnie, training like Ronnie. Not everybody can do that, you understand?
Yeah. How do we know we have genetic of the potentially become the good body?
You will know. Yeah, definitely. The more you get, the better you're going to get. That's the big mistake that a lot of young guys do. The way before, back in the days, we could laugh with each other, we could chill with each other. We get on stage, we fight our battle. We get backstage, we laugh, we chill. But now we get backstage, one is there. He doesn't talk to him. He doesn't talk to they are like, I had like 2-3 jobs just to get around. Yeah, and that's why some people, when they talk about sponsor, I look at them and I laugh. I'm like, okay. But the time that I got a sponsor, it took me years before I got a sponsor, and before I have the eye for that. I can see like on someone, like if he's abusing stuff or if he's just, cruising through it. So that's the time that I really saw him coming up. And I was like, this guy's going to be dangerous, but he doesn't even know it yet.
Wow. Did you expect him to become the Mr. Olympia one day?
I knew that.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. I'm ready to. Dude, sit. Podcast 59. Today's guest, 2-time Arnold Classic champion, top 5 numerous time at the highest level, Mr. Olympia. Mr. William Bonac. Hey, Mr. William Bonac.
Hey.
Would you kindly introduce yourself to South Korean bodybuilding fan?
Yes, of course. Hi guys, my name is William Bonac, and I'm an IFBB pro. I've been doing this for more than a decade now. Yeah. So, I'm an IFBB athlete. I'm a promoter as well. I have my own supplement line, WBS. I'm working together with Gym 80 as well. So I got a lot of things going on. And today I'm in Seoul, South Korea, and I'm supporting Gym 80 over here. And that's the reason, and that brought me over here to this podcast. Yes.
Before we started, I really want to show this picture. This is the picture, me taking picture with you and Akim Williams at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, and this is so far my best picture.
This was 2022?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was fanboy and
Awesome. That was great.
I've been doing podcasts with so many top Olympians, but this hit me different because you are the star, you are the top of the top, even before I started this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm so honored to have you on my podcast, sir.
Thank you, man.
So, how long have you been here in South Korea?
I flew from the Netherlands on Tuesday morning, and I got here on Wednesday morning.
Wow.
Yes.
Aren't you tired? It's okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's just the time difference is a little bit tough, but because I wanted to speak to my kids at night, so I have to stay up till early in the morning so I can be able to speak to them because they at school and daycare.
You told me that you have 4 kids.
Yes, I have totally 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls.
Wow, it seems very busy for you, sir.
But only 3 of them live with me. So the eldest one live with his mother.
So, how's the food in South Korea?
I haven't tasted your traditional food yet.
Yeah.
The soup and that kind of stuff. I'm not really a big fan of soup anyway. I'm looking forward for the Korean barbecue because I did that in the USA and I liked it. So maybe tonight we'll go there. Up to now, I just had simple stuff, but that's because I wanted it, because they want to bring me to all those fancy stuff. I said, no, just keep it simple. Right. Give me rice and steak and rice and chicken and I'm okay.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely have some Korean barbecue, which is really great.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it because I'm not on diet. I'm not on diet at the moment, so I'm looking forward to it before I get back to my diet. Yeah.
So are you gonna taking time off until the June?
Until we are in July now, so I will take time off, let's say Last week Sunday was my last show at the Dubai Pro, so I would take time off, maybe 1 week, 2 week rest, and then get back to my diet, but more flexible, so not so strictly, so a little bit more room, like if I feel like, hey, today I want to eat like a burger, I will eat a burger, or today I want like one meal, lambs or whatsoever, I will eat lambs, so I won't restrict myself too much on it.
So Dubai Pro Show is the last show before the Olympia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, go straight to Olympia.
Yes, now it's just for Olympia, preparing for Olympia.
Going back to 2024 Mr. Olympia, the moment they announced the champion Samson Daudas, you ran into Samson and hugged him, and which is really surprising. I never seen the guys who genuinely really happy to someone else's success. So what was going through you in your mind?
I'm like, he did something that I couldn't do. I started with it, but I couldn't finish it. And he finished it. And I know his storyline as well. I know when he started up, I've even messages that he sent me, and even when at shows, he will come to me and ask me some questions and, like more advice, like, hey, what should I do? Do you think, should I go there? And I would tell him, bro, stick where you are, you understand, and just have the patience, your time will come. And even with some shows, I saw like he didn't get the places that he deserved. And it was like with the Arnold Classic that year, and at the Boston Pro as well. I thought he should have ended up higher. Yeah, so that's the time that I really saw him coming up. And I was like, this guy's going to be dangerous, but he doesn't even know it yet.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and then it took him like less than a year, and boom, she was totally different package, So at that time, he was just missing size, and you could see his body was fresh, so he wasn't abusing any kind of stuff, and like we at least I have the eye for that. I can see like on someone, like if he's abusing stuff or if he's just, cruising through it. And so all this stuff, he put his things together, and, look where he is now. So I was really happy for him, genuine. And I feel more related with him than any other guy, because we come from the same continent, we are neighbors, actually, brothers, so because I'm originally from Ghana, he's from Nigeria, so that was like, man, he motivated the hell out of us, so a lot of African kids looking up to him, looking up to us, and for him to be able to put it off gives them the opportunity to, let them see, like, no matter where you come from, Africa, Iran, America, it doesn't matter where you come from, even UK, Europe, it doesn't matter where you come from. As long as you put in the work, you can be anything that you want to be.
You told me that you recognized his potential in 2022 Boston Pro.
Yes.
And did you...
The Arnold Classic before even.
Yeah,
it was before that I saw like, okay, this guy should have got better, but, yeah.
Did you expect him to become the Mr. Olympia one day?
I knew that.
Really?
Yes. He had everything what I was missing, man. He had the length, the size, everything that I was missing. He had it. He needed just the right team. The mindset was there already. So he was willing to put in the work. And I don't think he's even close to his best yet. I don't even think that. Yeah.
Wow.
If I can do it for this long, he's just getting started. So
yeah.
I don't think he has reached his full potential yet. Yeah.
Let's going back to your younger days. I want to hear about when you were young, especially teenager. Did you do any other sports than the bodybuilding?
Yes, I played soccer from the age of, I was 5 when I got to the Netherlands. So I was always into sports, at school. I always wanted to be the best in any kind of sport, so I was always good in sport. And then later on, like I think 8 years old, I went to soccer. I went to play soccer. My mom didn't know about it. She just knew I was going to play soccer, like what she taught, like on the street. But it was for a club because I didn't have the money for the contribution. It was me and a cousin of mine, Dave. So there was a guy, the trainer, Gerrit Meijer. So he always... I don't know, maybe he felt sorry for us, you understand? So he always gave us the break, so we didn't have to pay contribution. He kind of paid the contribution for us. And in fact, he even went that far to even got us boots, like soccer boots, because we didn't have no soccer boots. So we always had to borrow from other guys. And then eventually he got us our own size soccer boots and that kind of stuff, He got us in the team, and we were winning the soccer games for him, because we were like a best team, Me and my cousin, we were killing it, because every time at school in the breaks, we don't eat. We just go play soccer outside, until the bell rings, and then we go back inside. So yeah, we were really good that time, and he loved us, and we got more friends of us into the team, so we got to be one of the best team then. Nek 75, it was in Amsterdam North. And so this guy really helped us, because he kept us a little bit from the street. So I started with soccer. Yeah. And then later on, I think around the age of 12, I went back to Ghana. My mom sent me back to Ghana because I didn't listen. I was a bit stubborn, so I needed to teach a lesson to be humbled. So she sent me back to Ghana, and I stayed there for 11 months. And I started there. When I was there, I started lifting weights, but not proper because we didn't have like a gym. So my neighbor, he was like a big, strong man. And that was the father of a friend of mine. He passed away recently, like less than 2 months ago. And so he taught me, the little things, how to bench press and that kind of stuff. And with car engine parts. Yes, And so that's how I started. So when I got back to the Netherlands, I went to the gym once in a month. And I didn't have anybody to go to, to go to the gym with, So the first few times it was a bit boring. And then unfortunately, fortunately, I end up in prison in juvenile, and from there on, I started training really hard. And before I even went there, I was also doing kickboxing, but not competition-wise, just training, because that was the most common thing that everyone was doing in my neighborhood. So, I joined it as well because I love fighting. So when I came back from Ghana, I quit soccer totally, and I focused more on lifting weights and fighting. And then eventually I got out of prison, big, big and scary. I looked like a pit bull, but I still didn't feel for bodybuilding, So I went back to fighting, and I could kickbox was no problem for me, but I wasn't good with grappling, I was good with judo, but not the skills like jiu-jitsu, so I wanted to learn that. So I was learning that, and I got injured. And because of the injury, I couldn't do much for almost 3 years, so it pushed me back to bodybuilding. Yeah, so at the age of 26, I went to a bodybuilding show. So this happened when I was 21, 22 years old with the injury. Yeah. So I stayed out of the sport for 3-4 years, and then I was like, nah, I need to do something. So, and kickboxing and fighting was no option anymore because I had a weak spot.
Those times, 21 to 26 is the precious time for the bodybuilding, building mass. You missed all this, time.
Yes. But it's not I missed this time. I was already, because I gained a lot of time when I was in prison. Yeah. I had nothing to do. It was just learning and training, and eating. I had nothing to do for those years. So that's really where I packed the most of my muscles. That's the, where you could see the striations, everything. That's where my growth started. Yeah. So
when did you start competing wise?
That was when I got out. No, that was when I got the injury. Yeah. 4 years later, I went to a bodybuilding show. I was 26. It was back in 2006, 2007. Yeah. Yeah, 2007. So I went to a show, and then I was like, oh no, next year I'm going to compete with this show, and I'm going to win it. And that's exactly what happened, So I prepared myself a year for the show, and I won it, and from there on, they invited me to multiple shows, different federations. And then eventually I got a wild card from the IFBB Federation, the MPC. to compete with their federation. And I won my pro card within 2 years.
I recognize you maybe 2014 when you compete the Mr. Olympia first time.
Yes.
And then you moved to the top competitor very soon.
Yes.
And
yes, I started in the 212 class.
Yeah.
I did that 3 shows from 2012 because I got my pro card back in 2010, end of 2010. And I wanted to do the Arnold Classic Amateur 2011. Yeah. But I didn't place well. I placed third, so then I claimed for my pro card because I won that previous a few months before. So then I claimed for my pro card. I got my pro card. Then I started to do because I didn't have the money for all the stuff that I needed to eat, the steak, and I didn't have money for that, So the only thing that I could afford was like chicken breast, Yeah, I just had a mortgage, for the house. I just had a son, Joshua, my firstborn, so all the stuff was new to me, and I had a lot of expenses, so I had like 2-3 jobs just to get around. Yeah, and that's why some people, when they talk about sponsor, I look at them and I laugh. I'm like, okay, but the time that I got a sponsor, it took me years before I got a sponsor, and before I could say like, what, I can quit my job.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I always tell people, don't quit your job, even if you get a sponsor. Don't never quit your job. Unless you're like 100% sure of yourself, that you're gonna make it, then you can do it because it will speed up the process.
Wow. They say bodybuilding needs a time to rest, but you didn't have any time to rest early in your career.
Yeah, you just have to run. Yeah.
So when did you realize that you can become the top competitor?
That was. Actually, I knew like I had talent for it, but actually it was my coach back then, Neil, who convinced me that, hey, I could win the Arnold Classic, and because I didn't believe that I could win it. So he put that seed in my head, like, hey, you could win the Arnold Classic and you could do good at Olympia. Yeah. Not say I'm going to win the Olympia, say you could do good at Olympia and you can win the Arnold Classic. So this is what he said. That's what happened, Yeah.
After then, the sponsor came to you? So?
Yes, the sponsor came to me back in 2014, but it wasn't something that I would like, okay, now I'm going to quit my job, So, I got some supplement, a bit money. Most people, normally I can survive from that money, but I had just, like I said, I had too much expenses, so I couldn't rely on that. So I kept working. Yeah, I kept working aside. Yeah.
Until when?
Until actually I started to believe in myself, like, hey, if I quit the job, I can speed it up. I will live with less money, but I can speed the process a little bit more up. I can focus more on my training. I can focus more on my diet. I can do more, with my physique than I'm doing right now because I'm missing 8 hours in a day. You understand, for working, and not even 8 hours more because in the weekend I also went to work as a bouncer.
Wow.
Yes, and I also was working as a PT in the gym. So that was how I was hustling. How I was earning my extra money. So when I gave that all up, I just went up as just went up as a racket, and then the sponsor saw that, and I started getting bonuses, So then I was like, okay, now I can, quit my job because I didn't even want to quit my job because I liked it. Yeah, but I had no choice because I had no more days, and my manager back time, he didn't want to give me a unpaid day off so I could do the Arnold Classic in Brazil.
Oh.
So I wanted to do the Arnold Classic in Brazil, so I did that. Didn't place well, but I did place well months before in Australia, Australian Grand Prix behind Sean Roden, second place. So that convinced me, like, okay, I should go all the way for it. But then I quit my job, and then I placed bad at the Arnold, so I was a little bit stressed. I'm like, fuck, yeah. But I still had a sponsor. It wasn't much, but the year after, the sponsor doubled up the money. Ooh. Yeah, so then I could, like, okay, now I can, I'm getting more than I normally used to, payment. So now I can go all the way, and I did that. And then third year they went up again with my, with the fee. So each year they went up, and also with the bonuses. So I had more room. So now I can afford steak. I can afford growth hormone. I can afford the stuff that I couldn't afford. Yeah, because yes, I'm telling you, all the first few years I did it without all this stuff. Oh. Yes, I did it without all this stuff. I kept it as cheap as possible. I was eating fish. It's nothing in it. It's like panga filet. Yeah. It's like,
what is that?
It's fake fish. Yeah, it's like fake fish, frozen fish. It's like fake fish. So I changed all this stuff, and you could see the difference, in my physique. That I was getting quality meals, quality food, quality nutrients inside, So, yeah, I started getting better and placing better at Olympia as well, from 15th to 8th, from 8th to 5th, from 5th to, I think, 3rd, and then from 3rd back to 4, and then 4 to 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started declining again after the COVID. So, yeah.
You've been competing the highest level so long time. So, what is the most memorable moment of your career?
When I won my first Arnold and when I won my second Arnold Classic.
2018 and 2020.
2020,
yeah.
Yes. And also when I placed second at Olympia 2019.
2019. Yes, that's crazy. Yeah. So, 2022, I do remember 2022. Arnold Classic, you placed second and then you won the Boston Pro. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Olympia, I want to talk about the Mr. Olympia first, which is the...
my worst package ever. You can say it, but...
yeah. But I've seen you a long time, but your strength is fullness and complete package. Yeah. But... at the 2010 to Mr. Olympia, fullness is a little bit.
I lost everything. All the muscles was gone. I couldn't. Even when I posed, I couldn't feel my muscle contracting. Yeah. I think we overdo things there. Yeah. I think we should have kept. I should have kept it the way I did it for the Arnolds and the Boston Pro. We did more than we supposed to do. At that time I was working with Chet. And I think we did way too much more than we were supposed to do. Yeah, the cardio was too much. Even though I did like every other day cardio, but I did it for an hour on a high speed. Also the diuretic, that was a killer. I think even the last 2 weeks it was still okay. The last week was until I really started messing with diuretics. That's like for the water. Outtake. So that flattened me out.
That means, did you realize that you're not gonna be best on stage even before?
I saw it before the Olympia already. I missed my peak. Yeah, I overdo it. Over diet. Everything was over too much. Everything we did was too much, and that was like the most expensive prep ever.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, yeah. And it was the most expensive prep ever. Yeah.
And then you compete the 2023 Arnold Classic. Mm-hmm.
I was like, because let me redeem myself, because I couldn't watch myself. When I saw the video coming up from 2022, Mr. Olympia, I couldn't watch myself. I was like, no, this is not me. I couldn't recognize that physique on stage, so I couldn't recognize myself in that person. So I didn't want to, because I wanted to quit, but I didn't want to quit with that kind of physique, you understand? Yeah. So I was like, let me do the Arnold, let me see, if I can make some changes. I did make some little changes, but I couldn't go all the way for the Arnolds as well, because I had a bit of inflammation. Not that bad, but still, I want everything to be perfect, inside and outside. So that made me rethink everything. So a lot of things that I should have done for the Arnold, I didn't do it, because I didn't want to take any dumb risk, but I already committed to it, so I had to do the show, but I just took it easy. And I looked better than at Olympia there, so then I knew, bro, I don't need to overdo things. I just have to keep it simple, the way I was doing all the time, because sometimes we think you take more, you're going to be better, and that fucked up my physique, actually. So I needed to go back, all the way back to the drawing board to zero. Yeah. and that's what I did. I stopped everything for almost 6 months to almost a year. And then end of that year, back in 2023, I contact Stefan.
Yeah, boss of Outlaw.
Boss of Outlaw. Like, hey, are you willing to coach me, this and this and that? So from there on, the ball started rolling, because I wanted to, like, bring my physique to the most natural level as ever, So that was my mission. I was still on diet, even though I wasn't on anything. I was still on diet because I wanted to look lean. And I was promoting my supplement line as well because that was the first year we started my supplement line, WBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was promoting that one as well. And everybody, when I came to the expo, everybody was telling me, hey, are you going to compete soon? I'm looking at them like, no, man, So I was even surprised because the way I look, it was like really good, you understand? For someone that's
the
not...
guest posing, right, sir?
No, I had no guest posting. It was in Dubai.
Dubai.
What was it now? I think... the Dubai Expo. It's an expo
like
in
June or July, between.
Yes. So that was our first year, and a lot of people, were impressed with my physique, So So that motivated me, like, okay, let me go for a competition, let me try again, and that's how I contacted Stefan.
Yeah.
And that's when we started working together, like.
2023 Mr. Olympia, the only year you missing the Olympia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you get worried about the...
Yes, I felt, man, that was, I almost had tears in my eyes. Like, like when I was watching, I'm like, man, I supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I was like, I supposed to be there. So that was actually also one of the things that motivated me to come back on stage again. Like, bro, I'm not finished yet. I still have some gas in the tank. And I'm going to use all of that because I don't want to regret over 5 years' time, like, damn, I could have done this, I could have done that. And I don't want to leave the bodybuilding stage, with the worst physique ever, that I can even look at myself. So I wanted to be able to look in the mirror and say, like, I'd done everything that I could have done. I gave my best, and yeah.
You don't want to get retired when you're not good.
Yes.
You want to
retire at your best. Yeah. Yes.
And then I think for me that is the most memorable show ever, 2024 M Pro Classic.
Yeah.
And you came back. Nobody expected because the Crizo.
Yeah.
And he's a newcomer and he's a very strong competitor.
Yes. He was the defender of the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were missing a whole year, and your last look wasn't good.
Yes.
So,
don't forget Beirut was there as well.
Yeah, Beirut.
Yes.
Yeah. Beirut and Crizo is a strong competitor. And you beat them all.
Yeah. And you had Sass as well.
Yeah.
That's the year that I saw, like, okay, this guy, he had a good physique as well, And he brought it also for this year. Yeah, so a lot of talents. I saw a lot of talents coming up, and I was like, I need to hurry up, man, before they catch up with me. Yeah,
I said you killed a lot of haters.
That's true.
that day, and I was like, I told you guys, William Bonac is back. Yeah, I've always been your big fan, so
I heard that. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
And then this year, you did 5 different shows.
Yes.
Arnold Classic, Detroit Pro, New York Pro,
yes, Pittsburgh,
and then Dubai.
Yes,
and you placed really good all the shows. Yeah, what was going through in your mind in this year? So you're very confident for the Olympia?
Honestly, the Olympia wasn't even on my mind. Olympia, it was like I wanted to gain the experience. I wanted to get to know my body from different angles, And I was like, my coach told me I'm crazy. When I told him I want to do all these shows, he was like, you crazy. That time I wasn't even talking about the Dubai show. I had 4 shows in mind. I said, this is the show I want to do. He said, William, it's going to be tough. I said, yeah. I'm used to it. I like tough, So, and he thought I was crazy, but I still did it anyway because I wanted to experiment, because I don't want to use one show to peak and then, miss and guess for the Olympia. When I go there, I want to know, like, okay, I have options.
Yeah.
I can do it this way, I can do it that way, or I can do it this way, and that's what I wanted to do. I competed at these shows, Pittsburgh. I know I'm not going to win. And if I win, it's a wonder. Understand? So I know, like, I'm going to there. I want to see how I go against these guys, the top guys right now at the moment. I want to see how I do against them, and how I can be better, and how I can expose their weaknesses and how I can bring out my strengths, So this is what I wanted to do and how to peak. Because that's the most important with me. I always messed up the last 3-4 years, the last week of the show with peaking. So I needed to find a solution for that, and that's what I did this year. So I did different approaches, in accordance with my coach, of course. We talk about, like, hey, let's try this. He agreed with me, so we did different approaches to see how I could peak, And now we have like 4 different styles that we can use to peak, And even with the last one, with the Dubai Pro, so I did all the other different styles, and then with the Dubai Pro, I'm like, okay, the best thing that worked for me was the Detroit. Everybody liked the physique from Detroit. I didn't like the physique from Detroit.
Really?
No. I like some parts of the physique, not all. I didn't like my front poses. I didn't like it. So I was like, okay, I want to look the same way that I look when I send you my update pictures.
Yeah.
Because then I have like less carbs in me, so I changed some things around, with the loading and depleting, and that really worked out for me. With the Detroit, I depleted and I loaded. With the Dubai Pro, I did the same, I depleted even more.
Yeah.
And I loaded less. You understand?
Yeah.
So I loaded almost half, a little bit more than half of what I did in Detroit. Yeah, and I like that physique better because I could see my waist was much better in line than at Detroit. And that's what I wanted to see, So I know, like, okay, next time, maybe if I drop a little bit more carbs, I could get more streamlined waist, yeah.
For me, you look all good, but which show was the most satisfied prep for this year?
I think the Dubai, yeah, that was like, because I was all the time in prep and I already gained experience from the other shows.
Yeah.
So it was easy to do that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and okay, the last week was tough for me because I wanted to dig deep. I was like, I've done all these shows, I want to dig deep. So the last week I was suffering. So the time that everybody was loading, I was suffering. I just loaded maybe 1.5 days. But that's what I wanted. I didn't want 2-3 days loading and then be so full on stage that I can't control my abs. So I was like, I need to check how I'm going to load up, and load as minimum as possible.
So these days, not many bodybuilders competing so numerous times like you and Sasan.
True.
But both of you brought all the crazy package every single shows. But I've been seeing some bodybuilders competing a lot of times, but their physique decreasing by the show. Yeah.
True.
Wow. So, do you recommend the younger generation than you to compete more?
Like, for me, it's more because I have the experience now.
Yeah.
Even when I started with bodybuilding, I was doing, I think, 5-10 years back, we were doing tours. We were doing 7 to 9 shows a year. So that's why people are surprised we do 5 shows. I'm like, what? Bro, we did 9 shows in a year, like back in the days, we went from like, sometimes it wasn't even a week between it, we just like, we did Saturday and then Wednesday we had another show. Was not even the weekend. We even flew with jets from one place to another place, so those were the fun times. And that time, I had more fun than I had now because now it's more like a job, Everyone is so serious backstage. Nobody's really talking with each other. Everyone is like in his own lane, and it's a bit boring, like the way before back in the days we could laugh with each other, we could chill with each other. We get on stage, we fight our battle, we get backstage, we laugh, we chill. But now we get backstage, one is there. He doesn't talk to him. He doesn't talk to like they are like kids. So it's a bit boring, and unfortunately, it has to be this way. Yeah, it's like selfish. Everybody's so selfish. Like yeah, it's different.
They're
Yeah.
wearing the headphone and yeah.
Excuse me?
They're wearing the headphone and
like
then,
tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You can have tunnel vision. You have tunnel vision in your prep, but once you backstage, we all go through the same stuff. You understand? You are not more tired than me. You get me? We all feel the same way. So we should just be normal. Interact with each other. Man, after the show, we can go and eat. You know, understand? After 4 months prep. So that's what you have to look out for. Not like, oh shit, how am I gonna do on stage? Oh, he looks good. Me, I don't worry about that at all. Yeah, I just relax backstage. I'm like, okay, the job is done. There's nothing I can do. All I need to do is get there and show my physique. That's it. Yeah.
So another topic. People usually think that the oldest one is better. Like, you've been competing 15 years. You've been competing with the Phil Heath, Kai Green, Dennis Wolf.
Yes.
And then you've been competing with the
Tony Freeman.
Yeah.
All these old generation. Yeah.
and then moved to the Big Ramy and Brandon Curry
Yes.
when they're Heist. And now you're competing with the Nick Walker, Samson Dauda, Derek Lunsford, Andrew Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this question might be hard for you, maybe. So do you think that this generation of bodybuilding is good enough to compare to a little bit old one when you used to compete it with the
Old
highest
generation.
level? Yeah.
Yes, it's the way, like, we have to move and make space for the other ones.
Yeah.
Understand? Eventually, you get older. Your physique declines a bit. Some get better. Eventually, the new guys will come up. They will do better. They have more energy, more fire in them. And that's the same way it went with us. When we were coming up, Dexter and those guys were on the top. And eventually, they were beating us every show. And after a few years, we were beating them in every show. You understand? So, and that's the same thing that's happening to me. So, every time your time will come and your time will go. You understand? And you just have to understand that and, try to do the best that you can, from what you have, from what you can do. You understand? So that's what I'm doing now. So I don't look at them like, oh, these young guys and that. I look at them like, hey, that's the future. You understand? We have paved the way for them. And like Dexter has paved the way for us, like Lee Henny has paved the way for Dexter and those others, So I respect all of them before me, and I respect all of them behind me because I know what we go through to get there, So for the young guys, I respect them, and I hope they do well. I hope they stay safe. And I know, and they know, they will become like me as well one day. You understand? That they will get at a certain age, certain level, and that the new guys will surpass them. That's how it goes in every sport. Yeah. The young king will come and he will take the throne from the old king. That's how it goes. And we have to accept that. And then wish them well. And if you can, give them advice. Give them advice. Give them the motivation. Push them. You understand? To be better than you.
So, the crazy thing is you've been competing with the highest level for so long, like I said, but a lot of people, their show like very short period of time of peak and then disappear.
Yes,
a lot of guys.
Them.
But you managed to keep maintaining your great physique.
Yes.
Which is really crazy. So do you have any tip and advice to younger generations?
Yes. Don't abuse anything that you do. And that counts for your food, that counts for your training, that counts for your supplement, that counts for your enhancement. Don't abuse stuff. Like thinking that the more you get, the better you're going to get. That's the big mistake that a lot of young guys do.
It takes time, right?
It takes definitely time, and my body's already telling you that I'm not taking anything more than I did when I started bodybuilding. In fact, I even reduced a lot of stuff because I want to be around for a long time. I got kids who depends on me, you understand? So, just don't abuse any of these things. Whatever you do, don't abuse it, not even cardio, you understand? So once you use your brains, and you do the things the correct way, even with your training, You don't have to do those crazy stuff, that Ronnie did. Ronnie was a different kind of species, man. You understand? I was watching him as well when I was young. I was also trying to be like Ronnie, training like Ronnie. Not everybody can do that, you understand?
Yeah.
You can lift heavy, but use the brains with it. Because now a lot of bodybuilders, even some judges that I know, they were telling me like how many injuries they have, operation after operation, and if they could go back, they would have trained differently, and that's what we have to need. That's what we need to give the younger generation. We need to tell them like, hey, listen, it's not about just lifting heavy and looking good, because it will catch up to you one day, and there's those days you don't expect it, and those days you are not as strong as you were 10, 20 years ago. You understand? Those things is like a chronic disease. It will slow up on you, and eventually after 5 to 10 years, it will catch up to you. And then it's already too late,
They should be patient.
They should be patient with training, with everything they do. They should be patient. I'm not telling you go sit there with your finger in your nose in the gym and wait till one hour to pass by and then you leave.
Yeah.
Work out, do your thing, but use your brains with it. You don't have to impress anybody. That ego stuff, leave it out the door. Understand? And train smart. Do what you need to do, but train smart. So if you do that, you will go a long way. Even power lifters, they lift heavier than bodybuilders, and they don't die as bodybuilders die. You understand? So that's what I mean. So, but if you train smart, you don't abuse stuff, you can go a long way. Yeah.
What's your body weight compared to your younger era? So your body weight is up.
Yes. That's the crazy stuff. So
that means you gain the size.
I'm gaining size every day. I have to lower my carbs so that I don't grow too much. So in my prep, I eat less than I'm supposed to eat, so I don't grow too much. I'm trying, because we keep the scale in, like we check the scale, we check the weight, and we're not focusing on the weight, but the weight is like a direction line, to see like, okay, this is happening with the body. You understand? So it's just direction line. It's not like we're using the weight to. So once I see I reach a certain weight, then I know like, oh shit, I need to slow down. You understand? So this is how I saw, like, no matter what I do, like, even like 3 meals, boom, I reach the weight. 4 meals, I reach overreach the weight. And then I would tell my coach, and then he would tell me, okay, let's skip some meal. But not even a carb meal, it's like a protein meal. Yeah, I have to skip a protein meal to bring my weight down again. So we saw that in the beginning of the year, and now I understand why. Because also show after show that you do, you get like a rebound.
Yeah.
Yes, and the rebound that I get, I don't take advantage of my rebound, because even after the show, I will still go back and eat clean.
Yeah.
And I will still keep my carbs low as possible, because 4 weeks later I have another show, so the rebound is actually that. It's like my body wants to grow.
Yeah.
But I'm forcing it not to grow. You understand? Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you believe the men in the mid-40 still can gain the muscle mass?
Yes, yes. If I'm a human, I'm not from no different planet.
Yeah.
So if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. You understand? It's just you have to be trained. Understand? You cannot just come from nowhere, and you have to be in this game for a long time. You understand? So, and I do believe like age does matter at a certain level, but 40 years, 50 years, you're not old, man. Life is starting for you.
Yeah. Let's think about your career. Which physique is your favorite physique on stage entire your career? It's kind of hard question.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I like 2019. The only difference from 2019 is I was smaller.
Smaller.
Because I had an injury. But aside from that, so 2019 condition.
Olympia, you mean? Yeah.
Olympia 2019 condition. But the with the 2022 Arnold Classic.
2022.
Yes, 2022 and 2018 physique. Let's say 2019 even better. 2019 Arnold Classic and 2022 Arnold Classic. I think those physique was like one of the best physique, yeah.
Both are you're competing with against the Brandon Curry,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. And I lost both of them to Brandon Curry.
2019 Arnold Classic is like coin toss. I didn't watch the 22, but 2019 Arnold Classic was it's up to people's favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It is what it is.
Okay, so you got 2-time Arnold Classic title
And one in Australia, so 3.
Yeah, and 3, and then you been in top 5 and top highest level at the Mr. Olympia so long time. So, do you think that you have more to prove during your career?
I can do better, but if I want to do better, I have to push, and I don't want to push. I'm good where I am right now. You understand? And this is the reason why I can do it for so long. If I went that way that I was going back in 2022, it would end up bad. I didn't want to do bodybuilding anymore. I didn't feel anymore because I was overdoing things. Now I'm doing things. I took like a lot of steps back, and it's helping me. I don't rush things. I don't do no unnecessary cardio. I don't force myself to train twice a day. I don't force myself to train every damn day or 6 days in a week. No, I give myself at least twice a week rest. And all these things helping me, man. And this is also things that I learned at school, for sport, So, but I never used it. You don't do it. Most of the stuff that you learn in your theory, you don't do it, So now I'm like at the age, no, I need to check all these points. So now I'm checking all these points and adjusting it to my body, and it's working. Yeah.
You're still super competitive, even though you're put your ego down.
Always been. Always been, yeah.
So you're thinking about after your retirement time. So you have to spend your time with your family.
Yes,
with healthy body.
Exactly.
So this question might be the hardest one. So when is the right time to retirement for you?
For me, it's I have like you can say like, okay, in 2 years time I want to retire, but maybe 2 years time you look even better than you look right now.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna push again, So I'm like, that time that I feel like, okay, this is the physique that I want to leave my fans with.
Yeah.
That's the time that I will say like, okay, now I'm done. I'm gonna retire, and it won't take that long. So right now I'm settling some businesses up. Like the WBS is already running. Now with Gym 80, we are finalizing a gym in Africa, one of the capital cities. Like a high life, gym, like not for everybody. Yes. And once all these things, is settled, understand, then I have like multiple income, so then I can be like, okay, you understand, now I can focus more on my businesses, focus more on my family and bodybuilding. I will leave it for what it is. I will, hang up my posting trunks and say goodbye to the bodybuilding world. But I will still be involved because I'm still a promoter as well for bodybuilding shows. Yeah. So I will be doing bodybuilding, we'll be promoting it. I will still look out for some new talents, you understand? I will push them and if possible, convince them to get their pro cards. Yeah, so...
I will cry if you're retire.
Yeah. In my heart, I will always be a bodybuilder. I will always train. I will always, even when the guys are competing, I will always feel like I'm competing too. So, and brother, the most fun or like satisfying thing is to do something for a young one, you understand, who wants to do it but doesn't believe in himself, and then eventually get to the place where they want to be. Win a pro card, go to the pro stage, win a pro show, get to the Olympia stage, you understand? Yeah. But that's what I want to do. That's the dream, you understand? Yeah. We had one guy, this guy, Ali, Bilal.
Ali Bilal, yeah.
He won his pro card at my show, William Bonac Classic.
Yeah.
So what if I didn't have the show? Maybe he had won his pro card somewhere else. Maybe not at all.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So we are giving opportunities away to new talents, and that's something that I want to be a part of. I want to be able to say that this guy, he won my show. One day when he win the Olympia, I say, yeah, he was at my show. You understand? So it's a satisfying feeling. And for them, you are giving something back to the community as well. Because what I've seen in the bodybuilding scene is most people say bodybuilders are selfish. No. People are selfish, from it's in the DNA. You understand? If it comes from if you are raised up like that, that's how you're gonna be. But not everyone is like that. You understand? And even if you are a bodybuilder, it doesn't mean you have to be selfish. That's the way you are raised up, makes you selfish or not.
That's true.
Not bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You understand? So I want to do more and give more back. You understand? Because I could have sit on the money, my prize money that I got, but I didn't do that. I invested it, to give back to the community, to give back to those who don't have the opportunity to buy a ticket to go to the USA or go to Italy or Spain to compete, but they can do the show at home, at their own home. They don't have to travel. They can save expenses. You understand? That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm doing, with my partners. Yeah, just give something back, because it's already expensive for them, and I can tell you all about it. So, I will always be involved in the bodybuilding scene.
Like you said on my podcast, bodybuilding is a very underpaid job. And in South Korea, a lot of younger generations trying to become the good bodybuilders.
Yes.
And they have very financially not good.
I know. They don't go vacation. They don't do nothing. Yeah, I know. For them, like going on to another country competing, that's their vacation.
Yeah. They spend their
struggle,
money.
Struggle to go there, to get to there. So I know about it. And then they have to pay all the contributions.
Yeah.
As an amateur, it's a lot of money. I know about it. And we even try to bring the money down, but we have to stick with one line for the federation.
Yeah.
But there are some countries, third world countries, and they do it for them. They get like a bit discount, you understand?
Yeah.
Different prices. We have to do it this way because not everybody can afford it. And we need to look like, okay, Europe, we're okay. We can afford it. Africa, not okay at the moment. South America, not okay at the moment. For them, let the fee be lesser than the normal fee for the other European countries or the countries that are doing better, so.
My question is, do you have any advice to someone who wants to become a bodybuilder, but they have a financially struggling situations?
You can, bro. It's like I said, when I started it, I couldn't afford even chicken breast was expensive for me. So I will go to the farm and get the cheapest stuff. I won't go to the grocery store, so I will choose there's so many ways, you understand? Even for what I said, I was eating panga filet. Panga filet is like a fish, but when you taste it, it tastes like nothing. Yeah, but for that time, and tuna is not really that expensive as well. You can get them in those, you call it tubes and that kind of stuff, so. Eggs is not that expensive as well. You can eat a lot of it, and still you get your protein inside. So, there's so many ways, even if you don't have it financial opportunities and your opportunities are like minimum, you still can be a bodybuilder. You still can do good, with less. And once you get there to the point, and you win a show, your life will start to change. Opportunities will come to you, financial opportunities, which will make you, which will, let me say, release you from a lot of expenses.
Yeah.
You get me? So you can do better, so you can focus more onto your bodybuilding. So it's just a matter of patience and put the work in. Work hard. If you have to get another job, get another job. And believe in yourself, but also be realistic with yourself. If you see oh, bro, I've tried it many times, but I don't have the gift. I don't have the gift for this sport. Be realistic with yourself and keep it as a hobby, and get a real job and focus on a real job,
And how do we know we have genetic of the potentially become the good body?
You will know. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you
will know. If you will know, you
we're
will feel
eventually
that.
gonna know.
You will know. People will look at you differently, especially once you take your clothes off, you will see people look at you differently. The same people who will be with you on stage. So try a first show. Once you do the first show, you will know where you stand.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's
You will
great
know.
advice.
Yeah.
And then these days, in South Korea, many South Korean bodybuilders are searching for the overseas online bodybuilding coaching because they think they know more. So, do you have any advice to someone who trying to find a good coach?
Yeah. A good coach, you have to have a click with the coach.
Click.
Yes. Like, you have to have a click with the coach. If the click is not there, it's going to be strictly business. It's like when you have a click with the coach and you are able to speak freely, he's able to speak freely, that works the best. Understand? Because you have to see like bodybuilding coach and the athlete, see like Formula One.
Yeah.
Or those guys who races cars, and they're like they have always like someone next to them to navigate, to look at the map.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have a driver and you have someone looking at the map, navigate. We have to go there. We have to go there. We have to. This is the way a coach and an athlete should work. Mm-hmm. You get me? Because if the navigator don't tell the driver the correct direction, what will happen?
No. Destroyed.
Yes, you understand?
Yeah.
So that's the way you have to work with each other. You have to be like yin and yang, like a twin.
Yeah.
Right wash left, left wash right. So you have to, because without my information, the coach guessing. You understand? So I have to give him the information like, okay, this is my body. This is what I did. This, and he can see what can we do more. You understand? So it has to work both ways, but it comes from the athlete first. The information you give to the coach, and the coach has to know what to do with that information to bring the best out of you, the best physique out of you.
That's a really great, realistic advice.
Thank you.
Do you have a dream other than the bodybuilding?
Yeah, of course. I have a dream. I want my kids to succeed. You understand? I don't want my kids to go through the lifestyle that I've been through. I want to save them for all the drama, all the trauma that I've been through. And that's why I'm fighting so hard. I'm fighting for them. I don't want them to go through what I went through. I don't want them to be on the street. I don't want to get a call like, hey, your son is in prison, or hey, something happened with your daughter. I don't want to get those phone calls like my mom did with me. You understand? So I want to protect them by any means necessary so they don't have to go there. I don't want them to steal. I don't want them to do any negative stuff that can bring them into problems. And that's my dream, brother. That's my worries and my dream.
This dream should be me as well. So, last words to South Korean bodybuilding community. Mm-hmm. Any last word?
So, my last word is, guys, I've seen a lot of good athletes, and I know some good athletes as well from South Korea.
Yeah.
And I hope they do good, and they come back, and they do something back for their homeland, for their community. I haven't heard that there's any bodybuilding show here yet from the IFBB Federation, the MPC.
Yeah.
So if there's an athlete that, has his pro card and doing good with the pro shows, once you get there at the top, don't forget where you come from. Come back home and do something for your brothers and sisters, so they can achieve the same dream that you have achieved, so they can get opportunities that you created for them and for yourself. It's a platform that we use, so once you use it and you do well, don't forget the others behind you. Don't forget that there are plenty like you who wants to always also get there. But like I said, you had the opportunity to go to other countries. They don't have the opportunity, so bring the opportunity to them in their own country. because those athletes, they are able to do the same thing like I'm doing with William Bonac Classic in the Netherlands. You know, I'm bringing the competition back home, so they don't have to travel. They can save expenses, you understand, and they can still get a pro card. We got one guy, Drago, he won his pro card last year from the bodybuilding. Last weekend, a few weekends ago, he was doing the Pro Classic and he placed within the top 5. His first pro show.
Wow.
He got talent, but he's not there yet. We can see that, of course, but he's not there yet. But for him, you understand, to see that, you know, that is rather, what else is there that can, like, you know, satisfy a human?
Yeah.
You know, to see someone who's really working his ass off, you know, to realize his dreams. And I saw him on stage, and I could see like the happiness on the stage. Even though he was in the top 5, he didn't win the show or placed second. He was so happy just to be there.
Yeah.
You understand? And I could see his face, and I could feel the feeling that he's feeling. I felt it many times before. You know, and that's the most satisfying feeling, man. Yeah. Doing something back for other people.
I will keep in mind.
Yeah.
As well, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for the podcast.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. And, I will go to Mr. Olympia this year.
Okay, I'll be there. I'll be there. Definitely.
We'll meet there, sir.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry, done.
So, guys, don't forget to subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, it's TFE, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe. You know, I know this guy for a long time because I think yesterday I even saw you were coming. I said, TFE, I know this guy. TFE, I know this guy. Yeah.
I've been posting you numerous times.
I know. So, thank you. I will check you now.
Yeah. You didn't allow me to tag.
No, that's. Everybody tells me that. Even my partner sometimes, I have an Indian partner with the W.
Yeah.
They say, yes, sometimes when they tag you, and I don't know how these things work, brother. Like social media, I'm like living under a stone. You know, I don't know how this stuff all works, you know. So it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. It's like the way they set things up for me that time when I was with my manager. You know, he set up everything for me. Bro, I didn't know nothing about these stuff. So they set up everything for me, and I don't even know how to, but I don't even know how to get on my Facebook, man. Seriously. So it's not you. Yes, it's not like I don't want like if you follow me and you tag me, it should go.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what the problems was, you know, and this is not the first time I'm hearing this. You understand? I have with my partner say, hey, I'm tagging you, but you are not allowing me. I said, no, it's not me. You understand? I don't know how these things work. So if you show me, I can make it, you know, I can delete whatever I did or whatever my manager did, I can fix it, you know, but show me because I don't know. I'm living under the stone. I don't know nothing about this technical stuff, social media. I don't know.
Finally, I have a chance to show my page. And like I said, it's really honor. This hit me different. Because even before I start this, I'm a big fan of you.
I know.
You're my star,
yes,
actually.
I heard that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
여러분, 팟캐스트 마무리하겠습니다. 감사합니다. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. This is my happiest day.
Yeah.
In this year so far, sir.